You're invited to a party by one of your childhood friends. The two of you have known each other forever, but being at the party just makes you uncomfortable. Everyone is upper class and super wealthy, and you just don't feel like you're in the right place. Your wealth is preventing you from being you. Though I'm clearly not the only person to think this, but I plan on having at least somewhat cushioned retirement where I can spend money on my friends, my family, and myself. Additionally, nobody plans on being economically unstable. Whenever you think about your future, you think about having enough money to live your life. And nothing is worse than being stuck in a job that is extremely inconsistent, especially now. It is important to have a steady source of income to support your future. For those who don't know me, I film videos for musicians around Austin, and a good friend of mine and a great client, Paul Val Hernandez, is a local Austin musician. If you know anything about music right now, you probably know where this is going, but Paul isn't exactly in the best position right now. You see, Paul has been playing the guitar since he was a kid. His talent as a child and as a young adult steered him away from school. Because of this, he doesn't have a backup source of income. Most small musicians can support their music career with a part-time job somewhere else, but now Paul has no formal education and is unemployed. This is really important to me because musicians coincide with what I do, and in Austin, music is such an important part of the culture. The thing is, since coronavirus, I've even considered reimbursing some of these musicians for times I've filmed with them, because even though they might make more money than me overall and they might be older than me, they don't have the opportunity to just come back here and live at home with their parents. They're on their own. According to Paul and many other musicians like him, they've lost their only real source of revenue, that being concerts. And concerts don't plan on coming back anytime soon. And it's going to be even harder for musicians to get concerts whenever they've had this large of a break. It's terrifying to think about, but it's also not that surprising. I mean, musicians have an over 99% chance of failing because it simply isn't profitable enough. And this uncertainty can be carried over to many other careers, which is where the problem really comes from. And because of coronavirus and other events that can dramatically affect careers, one has to find a stable job or at least something to help prop them up against financial insecurity. So that's why I suggest you invest, specifically in AMD. So what is AMD? AMD stands for Advanced Micro Devices. It is a semiconductor company in Santa Clara County, California. You probably have AMD products in your house and you don't even know about it. They're that big. By big, I mean they roughly make $7 billion a year, like last year they did. Why? Because they sell some of the highest quality computer-related products on the market. So AMD was founded back in 1969 by Walter Jeremiah Jerry Sanders, where they began developing semiconductors, which, just so you know, is just any small conductive material. They actually didn't involve themselves in other tech industries until the last decade or two. Some of the products that they're involved with that you know about are consoles, gaming consoles. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they all have internal parts that are from AMD. AMD was also the company that integrated CPU and GPU, which is basically the new generation of computers that we now use. You should know that in 2006 they also absorbed ATI, where they began developing graphics cards, which is a huge part of their industry. Because of the specificity and productiveness of AMD, they only have one real competitor, which is Intel. But the funny thing is, back in 2009, Intel fell so far behind that they became desperate. And then a court case came about with Intel losing roughly $1 billion because of anti-competitive practices. So, AMD is the king. Let's look at some recent stock history. So in the past 5 years, AMD has been consistently growing in value with a price of $56.49 per share as of now. Also, a little fun fact, since March 4th, AMD Technologies powered El Capitan, which is the strongest supercomputer in the world developed for the US Department of Energy. This proves the power of AMD technology, making it far more trusted than its competitors. Very recently, the stock has also had a positive turn during the events of the coronavirus, and lastly, AMD earned an adjusted 32 cents a share on sales of $2.13 billion in the December quarter. Now let's look at the future prospects of AMD. AMD has a projected growth of over 36% in the next 5 years. And because of the company's consistent new lines of products and impressive technical feats, it is expected to grow. Ever since AMD's improvements in 2014, they have had over 40% year-to-year revenue growth. A recent product, the Ryzen processor, is currently one of the highest quality processors on the market. And because of Ryzen's profits and success, AMD is using this income to get ahead of the competitors by reaching the next generation of processors before anyone else does. It is called the 5th iteration Zen, a new and more powerful processor that will be sold later this year. Additionally, the next generation of gaming consoles is being released. Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation are all releasing new consoles with AMD components. Although many of you doubt it, the gaming industry is huge, and the new generation of consoles is a big deal. Big product releases mean that 2020 will be a great year, according to CEO Lisa Su. Patrick Seitz of IDB states that this competitive resurgence is why AMD stocks has risen 13-fold in the past 5 years to a market value of $38 billion. And just remember, what they sell is the basis of all computers, and understanding how necessary their products is should give you reassurance. So let's talk about AMD's success story. Until 2014, the company didn't have a clear goal or plan, but then came Lisa Su. She was the company's first female CEO and is the current CEO today. Ever since her arrival, the company has had a streamlined plan and it's grown exponentially. So, how can you buy stock if you don't have money? The best way to buy stock like this is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Everybody has things like spending money on booze, clothes, food, any sort of little thing that you enjoy. I suggest that you cut one little guilty pleasure out of your life. Find the easiest one to get rid of and remove it. Instead, spend that money on stock. That money will be saved, you will remove a problematic part of your life, and you'll get more money in return. Not even 10 years from now, you will find your life has turned around. With a little determination and persistence, not only did you find out how to improve your person, but now you're better off. Remember those parties you felt uncomfortable at? Well, now you can go around being proud of what you've become. Maybe you aren't rich, but you can live your life knowing that you can't be pushed back down. So everybody needs to be added to my reference list. Meet with me after and give me your email and your name, and you can take control of your money. Thank you.